What if I told you that I'm able to keep this greenhouse, this level of green, in the middle of winter, in the middle of New England, where nighttime temperatures are frequently touching down into single digits, but without any supplemental heating? That's right, I don't do anything active to keep this place warm. In this video, I'm going to share with you my secrets for how I'm able to create this environment without any kind of active heating, and we're going to learn about it using this tool in this box. Hey everybody, this is Praxis. You know, it's actually easy to create an artificially warm environment like this greenhouse. You don't even need a greenhouse to do it. You could do it down under the ground with grow lights, and you could have like coal fire burners for the heat. It's easy to do this kind of thing if you're willing to put a lot of energy into it, like to run those electric lights, to run those electric heaters. It's a little bit more challenging to do it in a way where it's not taking a bunch of resources, and that's what I've learned how to do in this space right here, and I wanted to share with you what I've learned in this video. This is the tool that I'm going to be using to show you guys how I do that. This is a thermal camera. I was given this to do a review on my channel, and if you guys have ever watched my reviews before, you know I can be pretty brutal if I think things are garbage. There is one thing about this which I really don't like, but overall I think this is a really good tool, and that's pretty much the extent of the review. It does everything that you would want a thermal camera to do. You can record videos, you can record stills. It has a broad temperature range. It has an ease of use. There is one thing I don't like about it, and I'm going to save that until later. So let's stay positive at the beginning. But we'll be using this to track where there is heat in this space. Now there are a couple of different ways that I am. Oh, by the way, I really like the case that this thing comes in. I've tested some other thermal cameras before, and they're all kind of on par. You know, they do what they're supposed to do generally, and they do it well, and they have a decent battery life. So, generally these kind of things work pretty well, but this is really the nicest case that's ever come with one of these. And you want to take care of these, so it's nice that it has this kind of hard clamshell case with this area to store your extra cables and things in there. So anyway, enough on that. How did we create this space? Well, there are two magic bullets that I use to create this space. One is that while I don't do anything to pump heat into this space intentionally, I have created a way of this space capturing waste heat. Now, one way is that one wall of this greenhouse is up against the wall of our house, and the walls of your house are constantly losing the heat from inside your house. That's why you're constantly having to put new heat into your house in the middle of winter, is because it's losing heat through the walls. So the fact that we put this greenhouse up against one of the walls of the house, it does two things. One, it helps to capture some of that heat that's being lost from the house, but two, it's creating a slightly warmer environment on this wall of the house. So it's helping the house to lose less heat because the house thinks, insofar as the house thinks anything, the house thinks that it's a little bit warmer outside than it actually is because it's kind of being warmed by the greenhouse. So that's one way that we're getting heat in here. It's not heat that I'm directly paying for just to heat the greenhouse. It's waste heat that would be being wasted anyway. But that is one way that we're getting heat in. It's just waste heat coming from the house. Another way that the greenhouse is aided in kind of keeping warm is that this greenhouse is bermed underground for about half of its walls. If you can see all of these bits of lattice here, they are attached to concrete, and the concrete wall, which goes up like one full story here, behind that is dirt. The greenhouse is all bermed in on this back side. And that's another way of trying to keep it kind of warmer in here, because once you get down underground in the winter, you go from temperatures at night that are like, 5 degrees Fahrenheit down to temperatures that are like 50 degrees Fahrenheit, deep underground. So berming a greenhouse down into the ground is another way of protecting it from losing heat to the outside space. The third way that we use to try to keep this space warm, and this is where I'm going to get really active with this camera, which has this neat little lens protector too, which I think is kind of neat, by the way. The third way that we keep this place warm is that we do add heat into it that's not just waste heat from the wall of our house, but what we do is we dump gray water in here. And gray water is water that is left over from, say, there's some controversy as to whether shower water is gray water or not, because gray water is water that doesn't have excrement in it, poop and peep. You know what I was going for with that. And I guess technically, dudes can pee in the shower. So, right, women could too, I suppose. There's some controversy as to whether shower water is gray water. Here at our place, we consider it gray water. So shower water, laundry water, and water from our bathroom sink plumbs out through here, goes through this little black pipe, and then dumps into a decorative piece of ceramic pottery over there with a bunch of charcoal to try to kind of filter out some of the chemicals that might come down from soaps. Now, we use this water to water the greenhouse as well. In fact, that was the initial idea about getting the water out here. I don't water any of this stuff. This is all just naturally taken care of by the wastewater that happens to dump out of our gray water system. And because of that, and for a bunch of other health-related reasons, we use very natural soaps here, so they don't cause any problems for the plants. Just all the shampoo and soap and everything that goes down the drain seems like it's fine. But I put that charcoal in there just, it helps to grab little chemicals with the, kind of activated charcoal that's in there. But water is not the only thing that's carried in gray water. There's also heat, and a lot of heat. And I want to use this thermal camera to show you how much heat actually is coming out of our gray water system. To turn this on, it's got an on button and some little menu buttons. And it has all different ways of setting up the different color palettes and different ways of visualizing. You do have to switch if you are going with something that's kind of on the lower heat spectrum versus higher heat spectrum. And this has a little switch in there. If you are on the lower heat spectrum and you point at something really, really hot, the display just kind of turns off and you have to go in and switch it to go. It's kind of like switching gears on a bicycle. So I'm going to do a recording here right now. And you do record, well, you take a still photo by just pulling the little trigger button on the front there. So and you take a video by pulling at it, and it's beginning to record here. And what I'm seeing on this video right off is that you'll notice the wooden slats are kind of cool. You can see that in the color scheme there. The wooden slats are kind of cool, and you'll see the concrete behind the wooden slats. It's sort of warm back there, and that is demonstrating how that earth, like deep below the surface of the earth, it starts getting warm as you go down there. So we're getting that heat radiating right out of the concrete after you get a couple feet down under the ground. And the other place where you see a lot of heat is you can see the residual heat in that pot right there. You can see how that's kind of turned red. And as I get up, you can see that the lower areas have a lot of residual heat, and that is residual heat that has been dumped out here by people using gray water. Now, somebody's taking a shower upstairs right now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for the shower to dump, and I want to really show you. It's going to look like lava coming out of here. Yeah, you can go ahead. Okay. So they're doing it right now. We're going to start this recording. All right. So I'm going to kind of hobble over there. I'm going to pull my mic off and just watch and learn. So the pot's filling up right now, and it just overflowed. And you can see it looks like lava coming out of there. That is 80-degree water. And you can see that it's spreading out everywhere. And this water here represents an enormous amount of heat energy. We've invested the heat energy in this water to heat it so that we can take showers. And it's a shame to let that go to waste. Just going to mic back up here. But you can see how much heat energy is dumping out of there, and it would be a shame for that to go to waste. So we use the greenhouse to capture that heat energy. It helps the greenhouse, it helps the plants by dumping all this heat energy out here. You can see the pipe where the water is coming out is very warm, coming out of the house there. And this residual heat energy, it's going to be in here for a while because there's a lot of thermal mass in that water. And it's a way of using it for the plants. It's a way of keeping it within the house's system because this is, I'm going to stop this recording. It is a way of keeping the heat sort of helping our house a little bit longer, because this hot water is now warming up this space, and this space is helping to protect the wall of our house so that that wall of our house isn't losing as much heat out into this space. So using gray water, there are lots of resources within it. It has the water, which is a resource. It has the heat, which is a resource, and it also has a lot of nutrients that, whenever you were taking a shower, you're shedding off dead skin cells, and that is nutrients for plants. And all of these things are, waste products that most people just throw away without any thought. It goes down the drain when they take a shower. The water goes away and it never benefits them again. The heat goes away, it never benefits them again. The nutrients goes away, it never benefits them again. And having a gray water system like this is a way of capturing all that stuff and preserving those assets for yourself and your life and your family. We are turning water that goes down the drain into this beautiful oasis that we get to walk through every single time we come back into our home. This is also our entryway, so this is the way you enter our house, through this beautiful, it's not tropical, but in the middle of the winter, it feels pretty tropical, having ginger, tomato plants, avocado, there's still a Brussels sprout going back there. This is a citrus tree. These guys live in here all winter long. That's it. I hope you found this video useful. Thanks for watching. I realized at the end of the video I'd forgotten to tell you what I don't like about this product, and I don't want to miss out on an opportunity to complain about something, so I figured I'd throw it in right here. Now, what I'm about to say that I don't like about this is not an indictment specifically of this product, but really of a lot of modern electronics. In fact, I've never used a thermal camera that did not have this particular issue, and that is that the battery in here, when it reaches the end of its service life, you can't replace it. You have to essentially just throw out the whole camera. It's not a battery that you can swap out for a new one and then have the camera start working for you again. That is a problem with so many modern electronics, and I really don't care for it. It's filling up our landfills with a lot of tech. It costs people extra money, constantly having to buy things. I know for a lot of people, they get bored of their products and they want to get a new item anyway, but it's not good for your wallet. It's not good for our environmental situation on the planet. I really don't like that tendency in a lot of modern electronics. Now, does that mean I would suggest you buy a different thermal camera? No, because like I said, everybody's doing it. But I hate this type of mindset in terms of building products to be disposable enough that every single time one comes across my radar, I have to at least mention it. But again, is there any other camera that I'd recommend? No, they're all doing it, but I want to let you guys know that's the situation with this. And it's a shame, I think, because we could do things a lot smarter, I think. Please subscribe for new videos all the time. And if you'd like to support this channel, you can do so either through Patreon or PayPal.